right, I've decided what I'm going to do with my magnet. So it's hard to see with the pattern, but I placed one of my magnets here and then a magnet on the lower hand side here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and lay this mat down, and then I'm going to come back later and cover that with some sort of an embellishment. So I'm going to sit down. I'm hanging out with the dog. She's had her lunch, and hopefully she'll be happy for a little while so I can get a few things done. So I'm dry fitting this piece, and it looks like it's a little bit too large, so because it's in the hinge. So I'm gonna just, oh, is it? Is that true? Maybe not. No, it's not. It looks like it fits. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay that down, and I forgot to put the cap on my glue while I was gone, so hopefully it's not closed. Let's see. Okay, I think we're all right. Okay, put some glue here. Okay, and as I mentioned before, I will be releasing the tutorials, and I'll have them all titled similarly, so you can search that way, or you can go to the playlist, and there will be a playlist for Spring Botanic. So you can look for tutorials either way now. I kind of like being able to just find what I'm working on and find all the videos in one place, and I hope you guys do too. The feedback that I've gotten so far on that is pretty positive, so hopefully that helps you. It doesn't stop you from searching, just searching through the release, the videos by release date, which is the default for YouTube. They just put whatever I've released last first when you guys are going through and looking at content. So this will be under Spring Botanic. Spring Botanic. And this is, again, a Stamperia collection. It's my dog in the background. She's sort of chasing her tail. She's been silly. Okay, so I still have to find a solution for that. And like I said, I'm probably going to use a cut apart or one of the tags that comes in the collection to cover that up. But I'm going to come back to that after I finish the other pages. So that was page 7. Page 6 is finished now. Page 6. Now we're on to page 7. Page 7 is the same as page 2, only a mirror image. So we've got that envelope that we did on page 2, same thing. So I'm going to get my papers organized. I'm going to pause and then come right back after I get my paper organized, after I've dry fit and added ink. I'm back. I think I've got everything fitted and in order, so we can get this assembled. Again, this is a mirror image of page 2. And I said that, and no sooner do I say it, and I realize I need to trim this down just a tiny bit, just a sliver. And we'll see if that does it. For anybody who's interested, the trimmer that I'm using is Martha Stewart's trimmer, and I really like it. If I'm doing a lot of cutting, it's not my favorite. Just because it's not a rotary trimmer, which is my preference. But it does cut very straight, and it cuts at a very good, at a true right angle, which for some reason is hard to find. Okay, it looks good now. So when I'm doing these small adjustments during assembly, it's perfect because I can get it in and out of my workspace. But normally I prefer a much heavier duty rotary trimmer, but the one I have is kind of stationary. I leave it where it's at. I tend to go to it. It doesn't come to me. All right, what are you doing there, Go? Oh, sorry, talking to my dog. She's sticking her nose and everything. Okay, we're getting close to the end. So we're gonna get this flap covered, and then we will focus on the inside. Beautiful. Okay, this is going to be a piece of trim that goes here, but I'm going to lay this piece down first because I want this, if there's any, if they go together, I want this to go on top of the other piece. So, stop. Stop chewing on that. Sorry about that, guys. It doesn't matter how much pickup I do, she'll find something, okay? This card is gonna go on top, and then we have the envelope that goes on the inside. Right now I need to arrange these pieces, and I'm trying to decide if I wanna do this or this. And, I think I kind of like this. Yeah, I like this better. So we'll get this piece in first. Let me double check that it doesn't need to be trimmed. Actually, it's pretty tight, so I'm going to take a little bit off the top here. And a little bit to me is usually a 1/16. My borders are a 1/16 inch, so that's what I'm targeting. Yep, make sure I got the right side. Whoops. Forgot to re-ink. Do that real quick. There we go. All right. Let me stand up and make sure. Yeah. Just want to make sure I'm staying in frame for everybody. I can't tell you how excited I am to have my new camera stand. What a difference. My other one took up so much space, and I really had to, well, it wasn't a camera stand really. It was some PVC pipe that I put together to hold my camera in place, which wasn't very nice. So this is a real treat, and makes me wonder why I waited so long to spend $100 on it, but it was worth every penny. Okay, so that's in. This is gonna go on this side. Check it needs to be, it needs a slight trim on the side so it doesn't, ouch, caught myself on the blade there. So it doesn't go into the hinge area, so I'm gonna take off a sliver, and that is really a sliver. Let's see if that's enough. It is not. Let me take off a little more. There we go. Okay, let's ink it. Just making sure my words are right side up. Turn it sideways. All right. Oh, wait a minute. I need to make sure page 8. Am I doing that right spot? Yes, okay. I wanted to make sure I was putting it in right side up. That's one of the things I like about putting it in the book while you're working. It's easier to keep your directions straight, but the downside is you really put a lot of wear and tear on your spine while you're constructing it with all the opening and closing. So this is different for me. I'm sure I can get used to it. I may go back to the other way. I haven't decided. And turn it sideways so I can see my edges. I've lost some of my natural light today. It's been very nice here in San Diego, but they say a big storm is headed our way, and we're gonna get a lot of rain. That was too much. At least for us, we're gonna get over 3 inches of rain. That's a ton for us. I've lived here all my life, and there have been years where we didn't get 3 inches the whole year. So to get it all in one rainstorm is quite a bit for us. Okay, so that's in. So as you recall, we need to get the envelope down. It's going to be what actually holds everything in place. And I did it. Did I do it again? No, I didn't. So I'm going to attach a magnet here, and I'm doing this one different than the other one. Big surprise. Sorry, I'm distracted with my dog. I have to keep looking over my shoulder to make sure she's not chewing on stuff. I'm gonna put this magnet down, and I think I'll put the opposing magnet on this page because it's going to be covered by the envelope anyway, so no stress. Or is that right? No, it needs to be on this side. No, I'm doing it the same. I'm all over the place. It'll be underneath this mat. There we go. So I'm on track. I did it. This one I think I'm gonna do like I had originally planned and only adhere 3 of the 4 sides so that there's actually a pocket behind the envelope, which I did not do last time because I got a little crazy with the glue. So having said that, that means I should use tape. Or do I want tape? No, I want glue. I'll take it back. So I'm gonna glue 3 out of the 4 sides down. And I'm going to figure out where I want it placed. And that looks about right. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little faint, it's very faint, a faint mark there as my guide. I'm gonna glue. The nice thing about using glue when you do pockets is when you're pushing stuff in pockets, occasionally it can lift your double-sided tape. That won't happen with your glue. So it's one of the reasons that glue makes sense. So now it's so faint, I really have to look for it. There it is. Sorry. Doggy duty. There it is. A little higher. I'm gonna check that before I burnish it. Looks very good. Okay, that looks good to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and push that down. Hey, sweetie, can you leave that alone? Can you leave that alone? All right, so now we have a pocket inside the envelope, and then we also have a pocket here, behind the envelope. I have no idea what I'm gonna put in it, but I like pockets. Sweetie, stop chewing on that. You're making Mama crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and get the flap put on the envelope. And it looks like it's trimmed beautifully, so I'm very happy with that. You know what, I'm gonna do this one. The other one, I put the magnet right here, but since I haven't laid the mat down, I think I'm gonna do it this way. That way, if I don't come back and cover this, it's just cream cardstock there. So I don't have to worry about covering it, so. Change of plans. I should have done that for the other one, but I didn't. I got too much adhesive on here, so I'm gonna start over. Put the cap on my glue and find my skinny score tape. My little puppy dog found a box that she's currently tearing apart. Which I'm gonna have to stop in a minute, but she can have at it for the moment. She's not eating it yet, so. All right. Okay. Wow. I was having some trouble getting that up. Okay. I think I want to actually make sure this line is straight. So I'm going to go at it from this direction. we go. Beautiful. Okay, we're almost there. We just need to apply this card. So I'm going to get some adhesive on this card and put it down and then figure out the placement of the magnet once this is stationary. There we go. So I'm just going to do a quick check and see. Yep, it's straight. Okay, so this is going to go here, and it's trimmed and ready to go. Get some glue. Okay, and then 8 is it's a repeat of 1, so it's a simple waterfall page. Did I just do that? I did, didn't I? I forgot to put the magnet down. My goodness. Well, I caught it quickly enough, I guess. Trim that down, it's a little too big. Okay, we'll do that one more time. Dum-dum, I don't know what, I just don't have my rhythm today. Okay, now as you can see, we've placed the magnet and I almost put my paper in upside down. Good heavens. Okay, so it opens up. So we have this 5x7, two 5x7 photo mats, plus we have this decorative, and you can put something here too, or you can just appreciate the paper. And so you've got that, and then flap, pocket, and a pocket, another pocket here. So there's plenty of storage in this design. It goes that way. Okay, I like it. I like it, I like it. So that's done. Page 8. Okay, I'm going to pause, dry fit, and ink. Okay, we are on our last page. So page 8. So page 8 is just a simple page. There's no flap on it. We're going to adhere the base mats, and then we've got waterfall feature, just like page 1. Okay. So while I was away, I was just dry fitting and then also making sure that I was getting my page layout in the right orientation. That is my spine. And this is, actually I want to lift that up a little because I'm going to tuck this under. And then this is the edge of the pocket. So I'm going to glue this up and then I'm going to tuck it slightly behind. So I can take advantage of that nice border. Okay, I'm going to slide it slightly in as I described. burnish everything. And then, as I had told you before, because I didn't put a magnet down before I put the mat down, I wound up flattening or taking the flap off one of these waterfalls and just made it a stationary mat. I'm going to do the same thing just so that they're the same. Page 1 and page 8 are the same. They don't have to be. I could have done the magnet the other way. But it's always good to think of new and different ways. So I am pulling in page 1 right now because I do want them to look relatively similar. So I'm just going to take some quick measurements and draw myself a little reference line here. Oops, not with a pen, silly. Almost, though. Okay. So it looks like this is about where I need to be. Let's get that straight. Right about there. Okay, and then I'm going to want to come in. Looks like about 1.25 inches. No, 3/4 of an inch, I mean. Yeah. Okay. Having a hard time, so I'm double, triple checking. And my dog is just making so much noise. Three-quarters of an inch, roughly. So those are my 2 reference points, and they're about. These 2 pages are not side by side, so it's okay if they're off a little. So before we lay down the waterfalls, I'm going to go ahead and put my mats in and trim the one that's going to be stationary. We'll start with trimming. So this will be the one that I'm just going to have on the bottom. It'll be stationary and there'll be a magnet on it, behind it. Don't need that. You are one busy dog. Clean up my workspace a little. A little too much going on visually. Okay, that's one. I can do one more. And as you can see, there's a distressed edge on one side, so I'm trying to decide, do I want them to go... I think I want them on the same side, so I think I'm going to do that. Okay. I don't think it'll be that noticeable, but... All right, now before I finish, I actually should go ahead and adhere this and put the magnet on. Since I blew that last time, let's do it right this time. So let's get this down. Put a little glue so I can wiggle it into place. Not always necessary, but pretty helpful for the first one. Okay, right on. We did it. Okay, so I'm going to put a magnet on this, and it'll be underneath the mat that I've prepped. And then I'll add another magnet to the stationery photo mat. That'll be on the bottom. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now 2 of these. Did I do that right? Let me see. Yes, I did. So 2 of these have solid mats and 2 just have trim pieces. So I'm going to add my trim pieces. And that is simply because I don't have enough paper to go around. That's also why I haven't lined the B side of these flaps. It's because two packs is just not quite enough. So don't be surprised when you're putting it together how tight the paper is. I am going to come back with the 3rd pack and fill everything in. And the only reason I'm not doing it now is because I actually don't have the paper in stock. So I have to wait until we get the paper again. Okay, very good. The next one is a solid one again. And the glue is just to help you wiggle it into place if you need to. I like to do that. When I'm trying to make sure all the pages line up straight like this, since that glue buys me just enough time to pull it back up if I need to. And I really need to be more careful with my fingernails. I'm leaving red marks. Okay, so that looks good. So here's our stationery piece. It's going to go here. So we need to find its mate from a magnet perspective. So I'm going to adhere the magnet here, and then I'm going to put some double-sided sticky on it and then press it down so it can find its spot. And actually, what did you find, sweetie? Hey. The dog is under my feet, sorry. I'm so close to being done. I need to take a break and take her out, but I really want to finish this page. I'm not sure that's going to work. I've got so much glue on my hands. It's really sticking to me. So I'm trying to, I don't want it to stick too hard until I get close to all the way flat, because the magnet is sliding across the back paper right now. Okay, there we go. Now I do want, yeah, there we go. It stayed. I'm gonna put some tape over that, and then I'm gonna put down my stationery mat, which still needs a trim piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I want it on this side. You are just one busy puppy. There we go. going to use my bone folder to burnish because I've got so much glue on my hands. I'm worried about transferring. Okay. It's always good to have a magic eraser around. That is it. We are done with page 8. And so our next step is going to be to assemble these into the album. But I'm going to take a puppy break, take her outside, and then come back and assemble the pages into the album and get ready to do the cover. Okay, here we are. We're ready to put our pages in. So I'm going to start with page 1. And as you can see, I've got double-sided tape on my hinge here. And I just need to slide this over. And then I'm going to press it down on both sides. And I have to do a little bit of maneuvering, so you have to forgive the top of my head if it gets in the shot. Typically, I like to make my hinge very snug so that the pages don't float up and down. It makes them easier to line up, harder to put on, easier to line up, so that they all have a... So they lay down in a nice cascading order and they don't tend to shift. So this looks good. I'm going to press this down. So there usually is a little bit of wiggle room, and in the case of this album, I'm pushing it all the way toward the top, which is not much, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. If you have trouble with this, then one of the things that you can do is put some glue onto the hinge and it'll help it slide down. Okay, that's page, there we go. Let's make sure I'm putting it on in the right orientation. This is page 2 and 3 facing each other. Okay, wiggle that down, and then I'm pushing it toward the top. And it doesn't look very good. It's not quite as straight as I would have liked. It's a little high on the top side. But it's not too bad. Let me see. See if I can't adjust it just a little. It's on there pretty good. I don't want to tear my paper. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the next one just so I have a little more wiggle time. Because I don't like it when it rises like that. Let's get some glue on it. And although it saves a lot of wear and tear on the spine, building the book outside, or building the pages outside the album, okay, sorry about that. My phone it just won't stop ringing today. That was my sister on the phone, and she was calling to talk to me about the retreat that we have planned here in March. So I know some of you that watching are actually planning to attend, and we're just lining things up, getting ready for that. And she was calling to check in and make sure that she still had a seat. Turns out we sold out, which is nice, but but she wanted to make sure she was still on track. So yeah, that's coming up here in San Diego in Rancho Bernardo, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we will be hanging out with the retreat crowd and working on some new projects for you. And I'm excited to see those of you that are returning. It's a smaller venue. We're just giving it a shot. We're not sure it's the right thing for us size-wise, but it's very close to home, so that was kind of an attractive feature for Julie and I. It's kind of a big production to haul all your inventory around, so this way we can take a few things, and then if somebody wants something, we're 10 minutes away. Okay, I'm gonna line them up, and they are lined up. Press it down. All right, it's in. So that was my final page. So I'm gonna walk through that real quick, and then I'm going to pause because I have to finish designing the inside and outside of the book. So this is page 1, and it's got these waterfall features. The bottom one is stationary, as you recall, because of the magnets. You open it up, then we've got this envelope and this double flap. Over here, let me grab something. Over here we've got 2 pockets and a flap. Here we have a flap that ties and another flap. And then lastly, we've got this pocket here. And the way it's designed, and I've done this on other pages too, everything sort of opens away from the center of the book, which I really like. So that's kind of my thing on the center. So that's page 4 and 5. Page 6 is a repeat. You've seen it. It's got the double pocket, the envelope, the card. And on this one, it's not there. It's on the envelope. On this one, I remembered to only glue 3 out of the 4 sides, I think. But I can't remember which side. Was it this one? I thought I did. I thought I left a pocket, but maybe I didn't. Well, nope, looks like I glued it down. Yep, I guess I glued it down. Well, there you go. That's the envelope page. And then we've got another set of waterfalls here. Got some ink here that needs to come up. So when I get my 3rd package of paper, I'm going to go back and do the insides of all my waterfalls. I'm probably going to go potentially do something here, and I'm definitely going to do something more with the envelope. I think that's just a little too plain. So I'll probably add some pieces here and there, and I think it'll look a little bit prettier. That's pretty plain, and it's not like you can really put a photo on top of that just because of the way it's shaped. So I might do something to dress that up a little bit. Okay, that's all for now. I'll be back with the inside and back covers, as well as designing the front covers as well, and then adding embellishments throughout the album. So thanks for tuning in. Bye.